Big Sis was the backbone of auction hunters. But behind her tough exterior and vibrant spirit, Robin Mattei was fighting battles that few knew about. With her unmatchable energy and kindness, she brought a spark to the show, captivating fans and co-stars alike. Yet beneath that infectious smile, Robin carried a hidden struggle, one that would eventually change the course of her life and the show forever. How did Robin's journey take her from the streets of Milwaukee to the spotlight of Hollywood? And how did her unbreakable spirit help her face life's hard? The Milwaukee roots. Robin, a young girl born in 1976, grew up in Milwaukee, a city that wasn't what it used to be. Milwaukee was once a booming factory town, but by the time Robin came into the world, many of those factories had shut down. As a result, jobs were hard to come by, including for her father. This meant that times were tough for Robin's family, just like they were for many others in the city. Life in Milwaukee wasn't easy. Money was always tight, and the crime in the city seemed to be getting worse. Robin's family could never stay in one place for long because of the financial strain. They had to keep moving to the cheaper areas of the city, which, though tough, became familiar. Even with all the moving, Robin's family still managed to make wherever they lived feel like home. It didn't matter where they were. As long as they had each other, everything else seemed bearable. Raising a family in those tough times was a challenge, and Robin's mom often felt overwhelmed by it all. That's when Robin's grandma stepped in. She became a pillar of support for Robin's family, always there with love, encouragement, and practical help. Grandma's house was full of energy, with Robin, her two sisters, and two brothers creating a lively atmosphere. Robin, being the oldest, often found herself looking after her younger siblings, taking on a second mom role. Grandma taught Robin how important it was to be responsible and stick together as a family, especially when life felt uncertain. Despite the struggles, it was in this environment that Robin learned to take charge and lead. In a big family with not much money, everyone had to help out. Just like many other families in Milwaukee, all the kids did their part, whether it was chores at home, looking out for one another, or doing small jobs around the neighborhood to bring in a little extra cash. As the oldest, Robin was the one who helped her grandma stretch their limited budget. Learning to manage money early on became an important skill for her. But Robin didn't just take care of the family's needs. She also worked hard to bring joy to everyone. She'd organize little plays, encourage her siblings to get creative, dance, and sing. It was her way of offering them a little fun, even when things weren't easy outside. Those small moments of lightheartedness helped her family cope with the challenges they faced. When Robin was just 8 years old, she stood on a stage for the first time. It was at a local talent show at the community center. She hadn't practiced much, but she had something special, an ability to make people smile and feel something when she performed. Robin chose to read a children's book, but instead of simply reading it, she brought the story to life. She changed her voice for each character, used big gestures, and had the audience hanging on every word. It was in that moment that Robin discovered the magic of performing, of connecting with others through stories. From then on, she began participating in every local talent show she could. For Robin, these talent shows became much more than just a fun activity. They became her way of reaching out to others beyond her neighborhood. It was a space where she could be noticed, where applause and cheers replaced the silence of everyday life. The louder the applause, the stronger Robin felt. By the time she was 12, Robin had become a familiar face in the local talent show scene. Everyone knew her name. Even when competing against kids who had lessons and fancy costumes, Robin never let that hold her back. She had a gift for expressing herself, for showing raw emotion and improvising, and the audience loved her for it. She often won, proving that true talent doesn't rely on expensive costumes or formal training. As a teenager growing up in a tough neighborhood, people didn't expect much from Robin. They didn't expect her to go far, to become someone important. But Robin wasn't about to let anyone else decide her future. One day in class, When the teacher asked everyone what they wanted to do with their lives, Robin didn't hesitate. She spoke loudly and clearly, saying, "I'll be more than this place expects." That moment wasn't just about her own dreams. It was about proving to herself and to everyone else that where you come from doesn't have to limit who you become. From that point on, Robin lived her life with determination. Her teachers and friends remember that moment clearly. It was the moment when Robin stopped wishing for a better life and started building one. Chasing lights in Hollywood. In May 2003, Robin made the bold decision to leave Milwaukee behind and set off for Los Angeles. It was a city known for its bright lights and dreams, but also for the harsh reality that could break you. With only $500 to her name, money she'd scraped together from odd jobs back home, she arrived in LA with nothing but pure determination. Her first nights were spent in a cheap hostel, cramped in a small room with strangers. She had left behind everything she knew in search of a chance to prove she could be more than what others had always expected of her. But LA wasn't the glamorous city she had imagined. The first 2 years were a battle. Robin went to over 150 auditions, and each time, the answer was no. Rejection after rejection could have easily crushed her spirit. But Robin wasn't the type to give up. She threw herself into whatever jobs came her way. Serving tables at a tiny diner, handing out flyers in a ridiculous costume, anything to make ends meet. Every night, after exhausting days of hard work, she'd head to acting classes, determined to improve and sharpen her craft. During the day, her focus was clear: to get in front of anyone who might give her a shot at a role. Those early years were far from easy, but it was in that struggle that Robin truly found her strength. She discovered how tough she really was, learning to keep moving forward, even when the odds seemed stacked against her. The constant rejection didn't break her. It fueled her determination even more, pushing her to keep fighting for her place in Hollywood. But the obstacles weren't only on the career front. In June 2003, just weeks after her arrival, Robin went in for a routine checkup to get a gym membership. What she wasn't expecting was the news she received that day: ovarian cancer. It was a devastating blow, something so terrifying it could have made anyone consider giving up, but not Robin. Even with the weight of a serious illness hanging over her, she refused to let it take away her dreams. Robin started chemotherapy and treatment, but even between doctor visits and hospital stays, she kept pushing forward. She still showed up at auditions. She still fought for her shot in Hollywood. For a while, it felt like she was living two completely separate lives, but she never gave up on either. Looking back, Robin would later say that it was the hardest period of her life, a time that tested her in ways she never expected. But, in the end, it made her stronger, more resilient. Her big break came in 2007 when she landed a role on a reality TV show called Operation Repo. Robin had done smaller acting gigs before, tiny roles that didn't pay the bills. But this was different. On Operation Repo, she played a tough, no-nonsense repo agent. The role wasn't exactly Oscar material, but it fit Robin perfectly. It reflected her own life experiences, the toughness she had developed over the years. The show wasn't a massive hit, but it gained a dedicated following, and Robin stood out. Industry insiders started to take notice, and soon, bigger audition calls started rolling in. Robin's career was finally taking off. Though Robin was still navigating her way through Hollywood, her path took a positive turn when she met Jessica Hines, an agent who saw something special in her. Jessica didn't care about Robin's lack of years in the industry or polished experience. What caught her attention was Robin's raw energy, her undeniable drive and determination. But what truly made Jessica stand out was her loyalty, especially after Robin's cancer diagnosis. Where many others would have been wary, doubting that an actress battling cancer was a good investment, Jessica did the opposite. She stood by Robin, helping her navigate both her health and career. She understood Robin's tenacity and fought for her, finding roles that would work with her treatment schedule. Jessica's faith in Robin during one of the most difficult times in her life made all the difference. Big Sis on Auction Hunters. In 2010, Robin stepped into an audition for a new show called Auction Hunters, a series about people who bid on abandoned storage units, hoping to find hidden treasures. The producers were searching for a tough woman who could stand her ground alongside the male leads, someone who wouldn't be intimidated. Robin walked in, and within minutes, she had them captivated. Strong, sassy, funny, and most importantly, herself. She was exactly what they were looking for. She landed the role, and just like that, the world met Big Sis. At first, Big Sis was supposed to be just a guest character in a few episodes, but Robin was simply too good to keep in a limited role. The chemistry between her and the other cast members was undeniable, and audiences loved her instantly. The producers knew they had struck gold, so they made her a permanent fixture on the show. Her first full episode aired in November 2010, and Big Sis was an immediate star. What made Big Sis stand out was how real she was. On the show, she was the tough, no-nonsense big sister, the protector of the group, always ready to have everyone's back. And the thing was, Robin's portrayal of Big Sis wasn't an act. In real life, Robin was just as tough, just as caring, and had always taken on the responsibility of looking after her younger siblings. Producers quickly realized that letting Robin be her authentic self on screen was the secret sauce. Viewers connected with her immediately because they could tell she was real, someone they could trust and admire. By 2011, it was clear that Robin's addition to Auction Hunters had been a game-changer. Viewership surged by 30%, with an average of 2.5 million people tuning in for each episode. The show's audience had expanded too. More and more women were watching, many of them saying they loved seeing Big Sis in action. The shift in demographics brought in more revenue for the show, and Robin's fame skyrocketed. But it wasn't just the numbers and ratings that mattered. Robin had changed the atmosphere on set. Everyone who worked on the show had their own Robin story, moments when she went out of her way to make things easier for others. Like the time in 2012 when a new crew member was feeling down. Robin noticed and threw him a little welcome party, making sure he felt part of the team. Or the Christmas episode in 2011, when the crew had to miss spending the holidays with their families. Robin secretly left presents and handwritten notes for everyone in their hotel rooms, bringing a little bit of home to them. But even as Robin lit up the screen with her vibrant presence, there was a private struggle few knew about. Her cancer, which had first been diagnosed in 2003, had gone into remission, but it came back in late 2010, just as she was starting her first season on Auction Hunters. Robin chose to keep her health struggles mostly to herself, confiding only in a small circle of close friends and her agent. Despite the grueling treatments, she continued working hard. During production breaks, Robin would schedule chemotherapy on Fridays, giving herself the weekend to recover before returning to the set on Monday. The quiet battle she fought while making Auction Hunters a success showed her incredible resilience. She kept up her on-screen energy, never letting her personal challenges dull the light she brought to the show. The climb to stardom and silent struggles. By 2012, Auction Hunters had become the top show on Spike TV, and a huge reason for that success was Big Sis. The moment Robin joined the cast, everything changed. Her presence brought a fresh energy, and the show's dynamic shifted. More and more women began tuning in. Viewership among women shot up by 40% compared to the previous year. The show was attracting a massive audience, with an average of 3.2 million viewers per episode. Robin proved something important. Women could love auctions just as much as men. That was a game changer for a network that had mostly aired male-centered programming. With Auction Hunters performing so well, Spike TV decided to expand the franchise. In January 2013, they launched a spin-off series called Auction Hunters, Pawn Shop Edition. The new show was a twist on the original premise. This time, Robin and the team didn't just bid on storage units. They ran a pawn shop too, dealing with customers trying to sell or pawn their goods. Robin played a big part in making the spin-off a success. She worked closely with producers to make sure the pawn shop stories were just as engaging and exciting as the auctions themselves. She understood that it wasn't just about finding treasure. It was also about the people and the unexpected, sometimes heartwarming, sometimes heartbreaking moments that occurred when customers walked through the pawn shop doors. While Robin's career on Auction Hunters was soaring, her personal life was in turmoil. In 2013, her cancer came back, and it had spread. She faced even more grueling treatments and an uncertain future. It was the hardest battle she'd ever fought. Secretly, Robin was fighting for her life, enduring exhaustion, pain, and a constant struggle just to keep going. Despite this, she was determined to continue working as long as she could, balancing her love for being on TV with the need to take care of herself became an incredibly tough decision. But what's truly remarkable is that no one would have known any of this was happening just by watching her on TV. Robin still seemed vibrant and full of life, even when she was fighting one of the hardest battles anyone could face. She learned how to mask her pain behind her smile, covering up the effects of her treatment with makeup and carefully chosen outfits. Those who treated her, including doctors and nurses, were in awe of her resilience. Despite being very sick, Robin was committed to keeping her career going for as long as she could. To show up every day, to face the cameras, and perform under those conditions was a testament to her dedication and bravery. Though Robin was a star on Auction Hunters, her illness made her feel incredibly isolated. While the cast and crew were supportive and kind, no one could fully understand what she was going through. Cancer is a deeply personal battle, and Robin fought it mostly alone. Filming the show took a lot of energy, and on top of that, the chemotherapy treatments left her drained. By the time she got home from work, all she wanted to do was rest. She didn't have the energy to hang out with people or go out much. This sense of loneliness, despite being surrounded by others, is something many celebrities experience, and it weighed heavily on Robin. Legacy of strength and courage. By early 2014, Robin's health had taken a serious turn. After countless discussions with her doctors, family, and closest friends, she made the heart-wrenching decision to step away from Auction Hunters. The demanding filming schedule had become too much for her to manage. Spike TV issued a press release, thanking Robin for her incredible contributions to the show and wishing her well. Fans were stunned and devastated by the news, many unaware of how gravely ill she had been. Social media flooded with messages of love, support, and admiration for Robin. In March 2014, Robin returned to Milwaukee. It was the place where her family still lived, where she had grown up, and where she felt she could get the care and support she needed. Her decision to go back wasn't just practical, it was crucial for her emotional well-being. Surrounded by her sisters, brothers, and especially her grandma, Robin had the love and comfort of those who had always been there for her. They helped with doctor visits, made meals, and offered unconditional love during the hardest times of her life. Then, on May 12, 2014, Robin Mattei passed away in Milwaukee, surrounded by those who loved her. The news of her death deeply saddened people worldwide, particularly those within the entertainment industry. Tributes flooded in from every corner, with people sharing heartfelt memories of how Robin had touched their lives. Memorial services were held in both Milwaukee and Los Angeles, where family, friends, fans, and colleagues gathered to honor her life. The stories shared at these services painted a picture of Robin's incredible kindness, unmatched talent, and indomitable spirit. To honor her memory, Spike TV aired a special episode of Auction Hunters on May 27, 2014. Titled Robin's Legacy, the episode celebrated her life and the profound impact she had on the show. It not only showcased her funniest moments, but also highlighted her brave battle with cancer. The tribute episode garnered over 3 million viewers, setting a new viewership record for the show. It featured interviews with her co-stars and producers, who spoke of the special friendship they shared with Robin and how deeply they missed her. The episode gave viewers a rare glimpse into Robin's true character, showing the strength and heart behind the Big Sis persona. The tribute didn't stop there. It also included a private interview with Robin, filmed earlier in 2014. Though she was very sick at the time, Robin spoke openly about her life, her dreams, and how she hoped to be remembered. She didn't want to be defined solely as a reality TV star. She wanted people to remember her as someone who fought tirelessly, someone who never stopped believing in herself and her goals. Her words were filled with hope and inspiration, a testament to her strength and resilience right until the end. Robin's legacy lived on in that moment, proving that she had been not only a talented TV personality, but also a role model for everyone who had the privilege of witnessing her journey. Robin's journey was one of incredible strength, resilience, and unshakable determination. From her humble beginnings in Milwaukee to becoming a beloved star on Auction Hunters, she left a lasting impact on everyone who knew her. Though her time was cut short, Robin's legacy continues to inspire those who witnessed her courage, her talent, and her unwavering spirit. Her story is a reminder that no matter the challenges we face, we can always rise above and leave a mark that will last forever.